Good morning. So here we start a day. I start off with my Cara, which are so delicious right now, and Costco has these, so I get bags and bags of these. I can eat a whole bag in a day. They're so delicious. And then I prep my mushroom drink, so I will link that in my Amazon links below. I make a drink with cacao powder, with Fairlife high protein milk. If I can get raw milk, then I'll get that, but I can't always get it. Then I put inside of this, I will also put my mushroom powder, and then I will also put in my protein, which is my collagen peptides, which I use every single day. I take my PreserVision Errands first thing in the morning, so I don't forget them. I take my other supplements when I eat a heavier meal. And I also take my Primal Goddess, I think that's what they're called. Primal Goddess, one of those. Take 2 of those a day. And then I make another drink right after I drink my mushrooms. And I put in, I'll usually use an herbal tea, like I like to use the hibiscus. So I get hibiscus bags of tea from Amazon, which I'll link below, and they're pure. They don't have anything else in them. And then I use the Sakura Powder, which I will link below as well. This is so amazing to start my day. This is super high in antioxidants. One of the most potent flowers on the planet. It's made in Japan. This is from Japan. And when I lived there, everybody was drinking the teas from this. They make ice cream with it, all kinds of things. So going back to, this is all I have to do, all this before I start my day as a small business owner. And today I'm gonna be working on my scrunchies, gonna be making all of my scrunchies that I'm making out of vintage items that I find by thrifting. So I'm working on all of those. They're a little more difficult to make because whatever the clothing piece that I'm making the scrunchie from, I have to cut that length and a lot of times piece it together in order to create the giant scrunchies. So that's what I'm doing, and I'm almost finished doing the elastic in a lot of them, so I'm getting ready to get those put on my Etsy shop. I have work to do with my first company, my virtual assistant company. I need to start the day off by returning some calls to some leads, and then also checking our automation system, make sure that it's all working, check in with the team, make sure everybody doesn't have any questions. I usually handle that first thing before I even get out of bed because they're on Filipino time. I'm on Mountain Time. So I usually, even before I get out of bed, I spend about 45 minutes working with them, answering questions on chat, and taking care of all that. So I still have to check the automations. I still have a few calls to make for some companies and entrepreneurs that might want to sign up with us. Then the next thing I go to is my remodeling company, which is named Fixie. And I need to make 1 lead call a day for that company from past clients asking for referrals, or I have to reach out to a contractor or something like that. Now I have run into some things being a woman business owner that a lot of the men contractors don't want to talk to me. My son, who also works with me, is usually the one that will talk to the males, but I talk to all the females and they love it that another woman is working in the business with them. So I have to do that. Then I will be working on my YouTube channel. And after that, I will be working on my print-on-demand designs that I do through Printify on my Etsy shops, and check in on all of my writing on my blogs to make sure that's all up to speed. What else do I have to do today? And make sure that I think my printer's all working, but I'll do a video on that in a little bit about what happened with my printer, but I think that's all working. So one more thing before we get started with the day, as far as the things that I do to start off my day, because I don't drink coffee, so that's why I drink the mushroom and the cacao. But I wanted to just go over the PreserVision, these things here. So these Errands, so what happened is I have all 4 markers for the genetic disease of the eyes. It's called degenerative molecular something, right? Molecular. Anyway, I can't pronounce it, but I think you know what I'm talking about. It's a eye disease that you go blind as you get older. So my grandfather on my father's side of the family had 13 sisters, and all of them, they all lived very, very old except 2 of them. but they all lived into their hundreds. And they all got blind in their late 80s. So except for one sister. And what happened was her doctor told her to start taking these when she was around 50 years old because of that disease running in our family. So she started taking them at 50, and she's 102 now, and she lost a lot of it. She has the disease, but these have saved her to where she didn't go blind. She does have to use these now at her age. She does have to use these magnifying things to read a lot. So I decided before a doctor told me that I'm 67 and my eye doctor that I was going to start taking them. I was like around, I think I started taking them when I was like around 55 when I found out that I had all 4 of those genetic markers. So every year when I go for my eye appointment, he does the check for that to make sure that none of that disease is coming. And every year he says you have no sign at all. And usually by the time you're 63 or 64, you will see signs of the degenerate eye disease that you have. And I don't. So it's credible because I have all the markers for it. Genetically, I should be getting it. I haven't gotten it yet. I don't believe I will. Positive thinking. But also he said that these have a lot to do with it. A lot of people don't understand eye supplements and how you need to take them. The other thing that he told me too is because I eat a lot of broccoli, like almost every day. I have broccoli, cucumbers, cabbage, all the sucraficious vegetables. And he said those are better than carrots for your eyes. And so any greens that you can eat, spinach, all of that stuff, super, super good for your eyes. So he just said, keep it up. So that's what I'm doing. So we're going to go get started now. I'm not going to film me doing the things with the companies that I do, the lead gen and all that, but we'll get back on when I go and deal with the printer situation, making sure that my printer's working, and I'll see you then. All right, so I got all of my things I had to do for my remodeling company and my virtual assistant company. I got all those tasks and trainings and stuff that I had to do, calls made, etc. Got all that done. And it's now 3 p.m. So, oh boy. So now I just finished. I've been working on my Etsy, my new Etsy shop. So I have one general store that I do print on demand on, which is general stuff. Then I have another one that's a FAIRYCORE, medieval kind of shop. We call it FAIRYCORE. And then I have this homemade shop, which is the one that most people are interested in me following along with me on. I do a lot of phone cases. And so I'm creating a new phone case shop that will have personalization on it. Like you can put a picture of your dog on your phone, your wedding photo, whatever. That shop we're going to be making next week. But right now I'm working on my handmade shop because a lot of this my virtual assistants can't help me with. I am using ChatGTP to help me. And what's really cool is on my ChatGTP, let me see if I can grab in there real quick. I'm not doing screen share right now, so I just wanted to, anyway, let me just go see if we can get there. So what I did was I trained. So what you do when you're using ChatGTP is you train it for it. You can have projects here. So I have a different project. I have each one of my Etsy shops and my YouTube channel, each one of my things that I do has its own project going on. Okay. So if we go to Create with Katerina, that's the one that I've been working on figuring out a name, for instance. And I didn't want to call it Katerina's Designs because when I started doing my labels, and you can watch my video on how I failed on my labels. Today, that's another project, is to work on my labels. But I needed to come up with a different name. So I gave ChatGTP a lot of my history so you can see how long this goes. So you have to really, really train. And we came up with this idea, Valiha, which is a Latvian word. So Valda is my middle name, and I have a daughter. All my kids have Latvian middle names because I'm Latvian, half Latvian and half Irish. So my kids all have Latvian middle names, and so one of my daughters is is Lilia, and I love that name. So we put those two names together, and now it's Valia Studio. The J is pronounced like a Y in Latvian. Valia Studio. And it's fine because a lot of Spanish people will say Valija, which is fine because they pronounce the J as an H, which is fine. But anyway, so this is what GPT and I have been coming up with for my label and tags and different things like that. So we've been working on this together, but it's not as simple as just asking it some questions. You really have to get it to understand you. And then on another chat here that we have going on was it's the shop itself and coming up with my story and all of that sort of thing. And the thing is that I wanted to come up with a really good story about why I love to design and everything. So my story here, so we came up with handmade from the past, styled for today, one of a kind vintage boho and hippie designs by Valija. And then what I did was I took different photos that I've taken, my craft room, office, sewing room, everything like that. And I took one with a little bit of a mess so it wouldn't look so clean. Took another picture of me with my computers and then different fabrics and some of the scrunchies I've made. And then we said upcycled and handmade goods. And then what I did was I only have these 2 scrunchies up right now. Today's my day. I first I had to get one listing up because Etsy requires that when you change over your site. This used to be an old real estate website where I sold website mugs and digital things and stuff like that. And then here you're allowed to put like 5 photos. So I put some photos there, and then it says vintage roots, handmade soul, my story through fabric. I could not have come up with that alone. So I thought that was really, really cool. And then together we came up because I explained my childhood. So I had a really rough childhood, and a lot of that should not be put in here, obviously. We're not trying to scare people away. So it was able to take those bad things that happened to me, but that's part of who I am, and put it all into this story. So it says, hi, I'm Katerina, and I've been sewing since I was 11 years old. Sewing wasn't just a hobby for me, it was a lifeline. During some of the darkest years of my childhood, including time spent in juvenile hall, I found comfort in fabric, thread, and the act of creating. I didn't have scissors in my cell, but when I was in the communal space, I could design my own patterns and stitch with whatever materials I could find. And that just brought back to me memories. And yeah, so I'm tearing up here, I'm sorry. But it brought back memories because I remember taking the different fabrics and draping them over myself and looking at lengths for skirts. And this is in the 70s, early 70s, early 70s, and creating, just trying to figure out ways, and we didn't have patterns, so I had to create my own. But they had a lot of fabric there. At 15, I became a clothing model. By 17, I was designing my own pieces. And in between that time, horrible things happened to me. I was trafficked, and there was a lot of bad things that happened to me in those years, but I still came out of it. And every time I was always trying to find a way out. And one time I found this nice man who gave me his big drafting table. He was trying to help me get away from these bad people, and he brought over to my apartment this really big drafting table that I could use. So in 1977, I opened my first design shop in my apartment in Hawaii. But life had more chapters in store. I became a mother of 9 amazing children, built a 40-plus year career in real estate, owned Taekwondo schools for 15 years, and eventually started running a virtual assistant company. Now, as a grandmother of 13, I've returned to my first love, designing and sewing with attention. Each item in my shop, is handmade and one of a kind. I often work with upcycled vintage fabrics, scarves, blouses, pants, and more, giving them new life and keeping beautiful textiles out of landfills. And when I choose new fabrics, I select only those that capture the same vintage boho and hippie aesthetic I've always been drawn to. These pieces carry stories just like I do, and it means the world to me that a part of that journey can live with you. And, I gotta erase the close. That's to close that. Okay. So that is kind of what we came up with, and I've been working on this, and I just think it turned out really beautiful. And so now I'm gonna go through and make sure that I have everything filled in that's required by Etsy to fill in. and any changes that I have to make from the old shop. And then what I'm going to do is add a couple, some more of my scrunchies that I've already made, and start adding a couple more of those in. And then today I also have on my list to work on making new labels. And that's been a big, huge process for me, but I finally found a video that I think will work for how I want to do it. So I am going to be doing that. And there we go. So I will see you in a little bit. All right, stuff happens right in the middle of your day. So I went to go printing and my printer didn't work. And I have this 80 HP Desk Ink Office Jet Pro 8025E. So this one said there was something wrong with the print head, and I'm just like, well, I'm not dealing with that. I looked it up online and it was too much work. And this machine I bought in 2021, and it has lasted, and it's a workhorse, and it has lasted this long. So that's about when I had our real estate brokerage for over 20 years in Florida, we would go through these even more expensive printers than this. We would go through them, buy new ones every 2 years. In fact, we would buy the warranty and then just exchange it each time. So I then went shopping for a printer, and I went and I bought this one. And set it all up and everything. And this one was a DeskJet 4255E. Now, I did some research on it and everything, but this one on Amazon was like $149, and I don't buy my printers from Amazon. I'm just giving you that disclaimer right now. But what I will do is try to find some on Amazon in case you can't buy them from Office Depot. So I buy from Office Depot. I get free shipping. They come and deliver to my house in just a couple hours. So I love it. So I bought this 4255E. I did another video on the unboxing of it. I set it all up. It was super easy. I used the instant ink ready for paper and ink, so I never run out, and I love it. I set it all up. Oh my gosh, was I disappointed. First of all, it only has two ink cartridges, or did it have, yeah, I think it had one for all the colors and then one for black. I don't like that because I need the ink to be more precise than that. And then the other thing was, what was the other thing? It was really easy to set up and everything, but I hated the way that the paper, it has this, I don't know if we can see a picture of it because I already put it away. No, but it has a little tray in the back here, and then you stick the paper in this way instead of this tray here. I need this kind of tray because it pulls out and it stores a lot of paper. In this one here, it didn't store hardly any. So I got this for $109, which was actually a really good deal for a printer because I'm used to paying like $290. So I said, well, I can't do that. So I went for a hunt for another 8000 series, and I ended up, and let me just lift this up because that one's, so I got this one here, which is the same kind that I had before. Let me see if we can find it's an 8139, so E. So it's a step up. So it's another Office Jet. So I think the thing with this is a home one, and I can't use a home one. You know, I just print too much. This one also comes with 1 year of free ink and 1 year of, not free paper though, just 1 year of free ink. I still have to pay for my paper. And so I'm getting that, but I use more than what that covers. So I have to contact them and see what are they gonna do about that, because I use more paper than what the free ink thing covers. So I just got finished. So anyway, so I got this one, and here I'll show you it's set up now. And I love it. I started using it, and it's actually a little step above the last 8000 series that I had, but I really like this one. And again, it's got the nice paper tray here so that I can put a lot more paper in there. It also does scanning, printing, and you can also feed this way as well as this way. So that is the printer that I ended up getting. I got it all set up, and now I'm ready to go again. So I'll talk to you in the next video. I took a little break here to, I went to Costco, got my, a couple weeks ago, got my Lehigh Mills unbleached flour, baking flour, and I've been waiting to put it into my Cambria containers. I get these on Amazon. I'll link them in my video. But I love these containers. They're the same ones we use in restaurants. And I have a lot of kids who are chefs and work in restaurant and food service business as well. So learn a lot from them. And that's one of the things I learned. And they're amazing containers. So I'll link to those below. You can get them. I think they're like $12 for one of those. I really like them because I also have the big, huge bins that I usually put my flour in. But those are getting heavier and heavier for me to carry. Like this bag's 25 pounds and that's okay. I can still carry it. But the buckets carry about 30 to 50 pounds of flour. So they're getting a little bit heavy for me to carry around. And so it's easier for me to just transfer it from the 25 bag into one of these. I need one more of these to fill up. So it takes about 3 of the Cambria containers for one 25-pound bag of flour. And then I make my little labels. So if it's King Arthur flour, then I'll make sure that I label it for that. And if it's Lehigh Mills, I make sure I also label it that way. And if it's my homemade flour, because I do grind my own wheat and have a wheat grinder and I make my own flour, I would put in there, you know, my flour. So anyway, I'm taking a break to do this real quick and then we'll go back to the Etsy shop. And I was taking some photos and I'll put those in here. And then we'll go ahead and finish listing the next scrunchie up on Etsy. Hi everybody. So now what I'm going to do today is I have a lot of errands to do, and a lot of those are pickups of different things I'm sourcing for my eBay store. I am thrifting for some fabrics for making my handmade vintage products. And I am going to be checking out the sales at Hobby Lobby, but I placed my order for my fabric online, which you can watch that video. I'll link that in the description on how you can shop for it right online on Hobby Lobby so that it saves you time and you can get fabrics that maybe they don't have in your store. Exactly. I have to go to Michael's and pick up a heat press that was on sale from Cricut, but they would not deliver it. It was in store only, so I need to go do that. While I'm there, I'll just check on any sales for any fabric that they do have in my store, because my Michael's does have fabric in the store. But I also placed an order online from Michael's, and I'll link to those as well, so you can see those fabric hauls when I buy from Michael's online. I have to return that printer. I have linked, so I have that printer issue, and so I have to go return that printer to Office Depot. Oh boy, so I have a whole lot of things. So I got to go stop and get my shingle shot real quick. Geez, I have a lot to do. So I will get back to you as I'm going throughout the day, and I'll just check in with you then. All right, so happy day. I'm here at Hobby Lobby. There's the Hobby Lobby sign. So I came in here and I got an amazing haul of 75% off. I think I would say even 90% off on some clearance items for home decor that I am going to be able to resell. So I'm really excited about that. I did not buy my fabric here. It is 40% off because I have it all in my cart. I do have another video about that, of me shopping for the fabric, so you can look at that video, find out how you can get all your, so I didn't want to stand in line there. I got my foam board here because my Dollar Tree is always out of it. Those are $1.99 a piece, so I did get those here at Hobby Lobby. And what else did I get? Oh, I got some really cool, all the beads company jewelry, things that you make jewelry with and everything are all 50% off, so you might want to go get that before Saturday. And of course that's every other week. Anyway, I'll show you the haul later when I get back home. And then now I'm on my way to Michael's to pick up the heat press. So I just got home and I've been gone pretty much all day. I think I left like 12 noon and it is now 7:30, but I just found out that 2 people have accepted my offers on some jeans that they're selling. So I'm rushing out right now because I just got finished putting everything into the house. But before I start working tonight, I want to just get everything else out of the way. So I'm going to go pick up those jeans right now that I use for like upcycling and everything. So today was a big day. First, I stopped at the pharmacy, got my shingles shot. Then I went to the UPS store, because I opened up my new Etsy shop and my eBay shop, and the Etsy shop is my home made shop. So that means I'm shipping things directly to customers, and I don't want my home address as being the place where they might do their returns and such, just for safety reasons. So I went to the UPS store. I also had a return to do for Amazon, and my UPS store that's close to my house accepts the return. So I did that. Then I saw my daughter, so I turned around, came back home. She was driving down she lives in a couple towns over. And so she went with me for the remainder of the day. After I did the UPS, then we went to Office Depot to return the printer, like I told you, and I have links in my description. If you like this kind of video, if you like vlogging, that kind of style of video, let me know in the comments, and I'll continue to do my small business in a day kind of stuff. Oh my gosh, teenagers. Yeah, you heard that. So then after Office Depot, we went to Hobby Lobby. Oh my gosh, I did a score at Hobby Lobby, and that's part of this video. But oh my gosh, I'm going to show you later all the stuff I got. But I spent $115, I think, and that was close to over $400. I would say close to $500 or $600 worth of products that I was able to source there that I can resell, and then some that I'm going to use because I do make jewelry as well. So I got some jewelry stuff that I needed to make some of the things that I want to make. And then also I make jean bracelets from upcycled jeans, and I bought some turquoise like stones and stuff to put in those. After that, we went to Michael's. I had to pick up the Cricut Joy heat press was on sale for $79. So I ordered that online, but then it said I could only pick it up in the store. So we stopped there. I ran in to check on the fabric, but the lowest price was $4 a yard, and it's already stuff that I have. So I didn't get anything there, but I did find this amazing candle set, which I'll show you later. One of my granddaughters my oldest granddaughter is going to be 18 this year, and she is so totally obsessed with sushi. So every single birthday since she's been wee little, Mimi, take me to sushi. So I always find an all-you-can-eat sushi place for her, because she will eat up a storm of sushi. So anyway, I found these really cute sushi candles for her birthday. I'll show you those later. Then after Michael's, we went to eat. There's a little Thai place right next to the Michael's store. So we took a little break, and we went and had Thai food, and I had masaman curry, which is absolutely delicious. Then after that, we went to Savers, which is a thrift store that we do have in this area. I was so disappointed. The prices were so much higher than Deseret Industry. So there I bought a few things, and I probably paid a little bit more, but I'll show you. I'll do a video on the thrifting finds that I got from Savers and Deseret Industries. So for instance, they were selling, it's really great if you can find really good sheets, because especially like king size sheets that are in really, really good condition, because you can use those for linings and making all kinds of things with them and upcycling them. And those were like $8, and at Deseret Industry, the very same ones run for like $2. So I was just really disappointed. Their jeans were like $12. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I wasn't able to source any jeans either. So I did find a few pieces of fabric. I paid a little bit more than I would like to, and I'll show you those when I do my thrifting video, my thrifting haul video. I already have one published, which I'll link below, but I'm going to do another one. And then after that, we went to the Deseret Industries, the DI and American Fork, which was a little bit of a hike for me. Oh no, then we went to the Dollar Tree. So then we went to the Dollar Tree. I had to get some stuff from there. Then we went to the Deseret Industry and American Fork, and their jeans were like $8, whereas the one near me in Provo, they're like $6. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to get jeans here either. And that's a little bit over the price that is worth paying for them. And then I looked at their fabrics and they really didn't have any. So that was kind of sad. I did get two things. I got a pillow cover kind of thing that has really good batting with it that I can just use as batting. So that was good. And then I bought a really nice micro suede kind of fabric that was a curtain, which is really, really good for tote bags. And it's already lined, so it makes it even better. After that, we went to Cedar Hills, which was a little bit of a hike, but I bought a whole lot, like a lot of jeans. Like that means, I don't mean a lot like in many, I mean like you sell them in a lot, which is a whole bunch in a bag. So I went up there, we picked that bag up from that lady, and then I drove home. So it was a big day. I didn't get to Costco. I wanted to get to Costco. I need to go get gas right now, but I'm too tired to walk all over Costco, so I don't think I'm going to do that tonight. And then, because right now it's like 7:30 p.m. here, I will go pick up, I have 2 more jeans to pick up from people locally, so it won't take me as long, but I need to go get gas first. Then I'm going to go pick up those jeans, and then I'm going to come home, unless I get another burst of energy and decide to go into Costco before I get home. But I need to buy some big bags of rice and some cases of tomato sauce and stuff. And it's just bulky and heavy. And I don't know that I want to go through all that right now. I need to get home because when I do get home, I have to do all my receipts. Thursday is my accounting day. I have to track all my receipts. I got to scan them all because IRS doesn't accept them if they get faded. So I scan them all, get them all up into onto my chat room with my bookkeeper, who then files them and logs them all for me. But a lot of times I have to explain what something is for. And because I have my virtual assistant business, I have my remodeling company, I have my eBay store, I have 3 Etsy shops. So with all of that, they each have their own systems and their own expenses and their own everything, right? So I have to log all of that so we can watch profits and return on investment and all of that kind of stuff. So I do have to do that tonight, so I might just turn on the TV. And then I still have like 4,000. I can't believe we ran around all day, and I still have like 4,000 steps to do. By the time I get home, I probably still have 3,500, maybe 3,000 if I'm lucky, steps to do. So I have to get those steps in before I even start working tonight. So I have to do all that. And let's see how much exercise. No, I still have to do exercise. So I only got about 15 minutes in of exercise today, of walking fast and stuff like that, getting my heart rate up. So I still got to do that. So I'll do my stretching and some yoga and stuff like that as well. And then let's see how I feel after all that. And I'll check in with you after I'm done with all the receipts. And we'll see if I get to go through, if I'm going to be designing in my FAIRYCORE or if I'm going to be sewing some scrunchies or what's going on. So I will see you later. Well, last night was, I was so tired when I got in the house, and after I started putting things away, that I just threw the fabric and a bunch of the stuff, oh, the cats are making a ruckus, down in a pile on the floor in my office. And I said, I just have to deal with that later. I did have a few things to do with one of my companies. I had a bunch of questions from some of our virtual assistants. A couple of them are helping me manage my print-on-demand Etsy shop. So we had some things. We're starting a new shop that's just about phone cases. So we're doing that right now and moving all my phone cases from the other shops into the phone case shop. So I had to give some instructions on that, but I was so tired. I watched a bunch of YouTube, and so I was just exhausted. And then I didn't realize, because I usually get a second wind around 11 p.m., and I still didn't go to sleep until like 2, but I slept until 11:30 this morning. And I could hardly get out of bed. I was so sore. And I'm like, why am I so sore? And my left arm here was just hurting so bad. My legs were hurting. My head was everything was hurting. It's very not typical of me. And then I remembered I got my shingles shot yesterday. Is the first thing I did when I went out. And I guess by the time my body got to relax and everything and the effects of it, oh my gosh, in that place where the shot was, it is so, I can't lift anything with that arm. So I can't cut, I can't sew, I can't do anything. So I slept. And so then today I slept. I didn't get it. I have on my phone, I work a lot with my VAs in the Philippines on my phone. So we have Google Chat together. So I can do a lot of my trainings and answering questions and stuff like that just right from my phone, which is one of the reasons I love that company so much, because it's very mobile. So I stayed in bed and just worked from bed. Then I finally got up around 12:30 and I realized I had wings in the, that I was thawing out in the fridge that I had to get cooked up. So they were the full wings. So I had to, cut the tip and then cut the drumstick off of the flat. I did all that, put those in the oven. Then I needed to go lay down again. So then I got up again. And now it's like 5 o'clock and I need to go out to my eBay warehouse, which is in my workshop. And I need to get out there and organize things because yesterday I had a really good haul with a bunch of things I can sell, but I have to get out and organize and make room for them. And then I still have about half of my workshop that was stuff that I moved out of the house when I was renovating different parts of the house that I need to either pack away, whatever. So I have everything super organized and I'll show you that one day, but everything is labeled for my kids. So like one of my sons moved out, my youngest son moved out. So he has the most stuff with me because he's living in a really, really tiny 500 square foot apartment in Seattle as a police officer. And so until he moves into a bigger place, he really doesn't have any room for any of his stuff that's extra. So like his Legos and mementos and things like that. So I organized all of his belongings, put them into see-through containers, labeled them all, and I have them on my top shelf. I have a closet in my workshop and they're on the very top shelf. And then the workshop's very clean, by the way. I have an epoxy floor and yeah, I'm pretty OCD about things being clean and organized. So, and then everything else, like my taxes are in there. I put my taxes because I have to save them for 5 years. So every year I put them in a bucket that's see-through, and then I put a label on them with the year, because then I celebrate the year that I can take it down and go and shred it, go and shred those papers. So then the other thing that we're doing with those shredded papers is we're keeping them and we're going to do with a job with some of my grandkids, and we're going to make papers. It's going to be really fun. I already got from Temu, I bought the screens to make the paper on and everything because I didn't want to make them myself. You can make them yourself very easy, but I didn't want to. So then what else? So anyway, I have all my drop cloths from our remodeling company in there. I need to fold those up, put those in their container because we just did a big, huge paint job for a couple up in Salt Lake. So we just finished with that. So I need to organize those. They don't need to be washed. They've already been washed. So I just need to fold those, put those away, label that bucket. And then I have a whole bunch of things that my kids don't want. So I have to look through them and say, can I sell it or do I give it away? Do I sell it, give it away, or throw it away? So I have 3 piles: sell, give away, throw away. And so this is all the stuff the kids have said they don't want of theirs. And so I have helmets. And I know I can sell those. I have snowboarding helmets. I have jackets. I have, oh my gosh, a lot of things. Lots of DVDs that my late husband loved and kept. And I know I can resell those. I'm really bummed that I threw away a ton of those. I should not. I threw away so many VHSs and DVDs because I just didn't think they were worth anything. Guess what? They are. There's people out there that want to buy those. I don't even have a way to play a DVD anymore. The new Macs don't even come with the slot for those. So anyway, I'm smiling, but I don't feel like smiling right now. I just feel really bad, but I got to get out there and work out there for about an hour. I did spend time today naming our phone case store, trying to find a name that I liked, but also that's available on Etsy, which was, that always takes time. And then also making sure the domain name was available. So I did that. What else? Oh, I did not do my receipts. So Thursdays is my tax day, but I spent all day out doing sourcing and shopping and errands like you saw. But it's really my day. And see, that's what I do because I hate doing receipts. I hate doing taxes. And so I procrastinate and I go, I can do it next Thursday. But I have a pile that I need to get in order and get over to my bookkeeper. So I don't think I'm going to do that today. I just don't feel like it. So hopefully I can get that done tomorrow. So I'm going to go spend an hour out in my workshop right now, organize things, hopefully get it all ready. I have tables to lay out where I can put things by category. So I'm hoping to do all that in an hour. I don't know. We'll see how much I can get done in an hour. I wanted to also work in my food storage room, but I just don't have the energy to do that. I have one more big 5 metal shelf unit that needs to be organized. All the rest has been organized. And then I have like just a tiny pile on the floor that needs to be organized. And so I usually spend about 20 minutes a day in there reorganizing everything because I need to do it by expiration date and all that kind of stuff. But yesterday I was just too tired when I came home to do it. And today I just don't feel good from that shot. So I'm just not going to overdo it. I try really hard not to overdo it. So I will go do that. After that, hopefully I'll rest a little bit and then I have to exercise, but I don't know that I can. Maybe I'll do stretching, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get my steps in today. I am just so sore, and usually I fight that soreness and get my steps in anyway, but my body's just telling me to kind of take it easy. So I think I'm just going to take it easy, skip today, make it up tomorrow for my weights and my training and all that. I still want to make my labels, but again, I don't think I have the brain power to do that today. I will cut out some more fabric for scrunchies. I will, and then I do need to list some more scrunchies up on my Etsy shop. So hopefully I can do that. And I have a new virtual assistant starting on Monday who's really good with Etsy. So we're going to start turning a lot of the Etsy stuff over to her so I can start working more on my eBay shop. And once that's going in a system, I'll turn it over to her so I can continue just to sew, which is what I want to do, and make my videos. So that's kind of where I'm at for today. So we'll see if I can get any of those listings up tonight and maybe organize some of the videos, get them ready to put up to Descript where my VA goes in and then takes them for the vlogs. But then there's a lot of videos I just do the editing myself, and most of my videos I don't edit. So I just get them up on YouTube, and I like to be raw and real. And so I just don't really like to spend a lot of time and focus on that when I could be sharing more stuff that you want to know. So let me know in the comments what else you would like to know. Let me know if you like the vlog style of what I'm doing every day. And I will try to do more filming of when I'm in action too, instead of just the talking heads. So I don't know about taking the camera and setting it all up in the workshop. I might try, or I might just take my phone and show you what I'm doing. Maybe that's what I'll do. Okay, well, I think that's what we'll do is I'll just do a camera shot, like a walking video of the area and what we're doing there. Okay, so see you in a bit. All right, so this is my workshop. It's a very big room. I would say bigger than a 2-car garage plus a closet. So I would say it's probably about 750, 800 square feet. We totally redid this. It was really gross and stinky in here. So we washed down all the walls. I cleaned the floor, and then I laid the epoxy flooring. We painted the ceiling. It was just plain wood up there, but I didn't put drywall up there. It's plywood, and that's good enough. I have to change out the lights to the kind of lights I need for photography in here. And then it's got a lot of space. So this area here is all stuff that I'm listing for sale. So all of this is going up for sale. Tons of clothing, and lots of things there. All of this is already organized and ready for sale, except for I have to weigh each article of clothing and take the photos that's laying there because I need to take photos. This is my photo station. I have a light that just fell down. I had it attached to the ceiling, just a glued on one, but it fell down. So I have to re-put that up. And then here are my lights, other lights that I have. I still have to put the middle one up. And then this is the board that I made to hang clothing up and take. And then I have a shorter one down there that I can lay flat and put things on. All of these items here are for sale that I just need to get organized and listed, except for my carts. Those I keep. This is a headboard that I'm going to remake and then put it up for sale. The cat scratched the heck out of it, but it's a really good piece of furniture, so I'm keeping that. This table here has things these are things for sale, and I need to organize. This is my greenhouse, which I'm not selling. A table, of course, I'm not selling the table, but this is where I'm going to lay out all those crosses that I found and other items that I found. Over here along the wall are, again, things that I'm selling except for our tools. We're keeping all my tools, of course. And then back here is we have a, if you can see it, my fire pit right there. So these are the chairs for the fire pit and tables when we sit out there. So those, of course, I'm not selling. Oh, there's I was looking for my windshield. There's my windshield thing for the sun. These are all books that I need to open up and sell, clothing that I need to open up, all that and sale. Here's the helmets I was telling you about that I'm putting up for sale. Ties. There's just so much stuff. I'm not selling my broom and dustpan, of course. All of these things are collectibles that I need to sell. These are all things that I'm selling. But underneath there, that's all my moving blankets for our remodeling company. So I'm not selling those. These are all of my paint cloths, which I'm not selling, and I'm going to be putting those into a container to keep. These are containers that I'm keeping. I use these for gardening and for the kids crafting and things like that. So those I have to organize and put away. Here are more things, collectibles that I'm selling that aren't worth a lot because my late husband had these Elvises and he broke the cases. So this stool here, I am refinishing this and I'm keeping this in my office. It's in here because this is also provides as a wood shop working room, but not for the messy stuff, but for my finishing and stuff. But I usually take it outside and do it. But this will be sewn, so I'll probably take it in my sewing room and do that. More things to sell. This table will be all organized with things, but you can see that it's just a lot of organizing. So it's not messy, but just like lots of stuff to organize. There's more things to sell over here. That's my very first Afghan that I ever made. It's broke. There's a piece broke. One of the flowers set loose. I got to fix that, but I'm going to keep that because it's one of the very first things I ever made when I was really young. So I think I will save that. I don't know if the kids want it or not. I might end up just donating or something if they don't want it. Because I don't want to have things left over when I pass away. So that's what everything I do is kind of with that in mind. Like, do you want it? Do you not want it? If you don't want it, I'm getting rid of it because when I pass away, you don't need to have a bunch of junk to go through. So that's the containers down there that I'm selling. This we're keeping, of course, but I can't move. It's in the middle, but it's too heavy for me to move, but it's for our business. And we have to put it in here because our tools and our workbench and everything is underneath our deck. And I don't need it to be a temptation for somebody to come and steal. So we have to keep it locked up. And then this is the closet I was telling you about. So you'll see how for my youngest son, I have everything labeled with his name on it. So if something did happen to me, everyone would know. All the kids could come over and say, okay, this is mine. I'm taking that, blah, blah, blah. I have papers, like I said, with my taxes, but these are property papers that I need to keep. There's negatives there, which I don't know if I'm going to end up throwing. I might just end up throwing those away or not. I just haven't decided yet. Old negatives of photos. I'm going to ask all the kids if any of them want them. And if they don't, I'll end up throwing that away. Stadium chairs, just because this box is going to go up there. I just was too weak to do that the other day. And then this is all my gardening stuff and it's all labeled. And then there's garden stuff, seeds, gardening, and then our rock solid when we're doing epoxy flooring, different things that we need for work that I want to keep safe. Extra tile here, our extra paints and stuff like that go there. Things for the yard go there. And then all of these are mugs that I had made many years ago, and I need to get these sold. So I need to get these out of here. These are all mugs that I made that I need to get sold. Extra flooring for our house. Just some extra tools there, tools and things like that. And then over here, what I have is the boxes to mail in. So I buy regular boxes to mail in, but I also keep other boxes that for different weird sizes, and bigger sizes. And then I have all my shoe boxes that we keep because we repurpose those. But also I want to tell you a really cool idea to do with boxes, the strong ones, like the ones you get from Home Depot and Walmart. some of those really heavy duty ones, what you do is you line them with a contractor garbage bag, and then you put burlap around the front to make it look nice. You put your soil in it and it will grow. You can use them for container gardening. It's pretty amazing and it works. I've done it before and it works really, really well. These are all storage for empty paper towel rolls, empty toilet paper rolls, which we use for kids crafting and for gardening. They're really good for composting. So all my composting materials are in there. And that's about it for that room. And so going into this is the area. This is all, I don't need to do this part today. What I need to do is get all this stuff out of the way so that I can reach over to the tables. So that's my job right now. Hopefully I can get this done in an hour. We'll see. Well, I'm finally done. I decided I'm going to do it all tonight. So I started at 5, and remember I said I thought it was going to take an hour. Well, I started I'll say 5:15, and it's 9 p.m. How about that? So 5, 6, 7, 4 hours it took me, but everything, look, emptied out. Everything is stacked. Everything is where it needs to be. Things that I'm listing for sale or like in order that I need to put them up for sale. The things I'm saving and doing, like remember my little ottoman that I'm going to remake that I just tucked in the back there. But there's no junk, everything has a purpose. Wow, I just still couldn't move the machine. It was too heavy. And then all of this, of course, is stuff we use, every day outside for our outside activities. And all the clothing, all the baseball pants, like all the different kinds of things, men's clothes, women's clothes, no kids' clothes. I'm not selling kids' clothes. And then different things, purses, different household items. This table I have set up to display things and put maybe a photo box on there. The shoe rack I'm going to end up selling, but I do have some shoes that I'm just going to go ahead and place on the rack for now, but I will end up selling that on Facebook Marketplace. And then, I'm so happy. Look at my paint, my remodeling companies. We had so many drop cloths, it's not even funny. So here's our painting drop cloths. I fit them in 2 buckets, and there were so many, but I was able to fit those really well. And I don't think I added anything in here. So everything that I showed you earlier was already here. No, I put a little junk drawer thingy here because this belongs to my little, one of my sons. He hasn't gone through it yet. I did move my sandpaper stuff in here because I do use that often. Let's see what else. And then I put some empty Tupperware containers, Rubbermaid, containers under there for right now. And that's it. Everything else is pretty much the same. I hung up some of the dresses here, so that they would be out of the way because my garment rack fell down. And I couldn't figure out a way to put it back together. So there you have it. There's my eBay reselling room. So I'm so excited. I have plenty of room in the middle to work on projects, do my refinishing, all that good stuff. So pretty exciting. Really exciting to do all this. So I am excited to share all this with you. And now it is 9:15. I'm super tired. I'm exhausted. I'm going to rest for a minute and then we'll see what I can do next. I did gather up enough energy to design my new labels for my homemade Etsy store. I was using Katerina's Designs, which is my name, but the word is too long. It's not looking good. I don't like the way it looks. I didn't like the way it printed out. I didn't like the transfer paper. So I went to this YouTube channel. Her name is Blue Rooster Farm. And so she has an excellent tutorial on how to make sewing project tags. So I followed her instructions. And since I do have a Mac and so does she, it makes it wonderful because we're able to make them in Pages, which I will tell you was so much easier than doing it all in Canva. Because when I did the Katerina Designs ones, and you can watch my super fail video, which I'm posting about how I failed in that regard, but I kept printing out on the wrong side and I forgot to switch this to flip it so that it would be, you know, backwards. Oh my gosh, I had so many issues. But anyway, I did it all in Canva, and it was so hard to duplicate everything for the tags to be the right size and everything. And in Pages, it's so easy. So I'm so glad that she gave this wonderful tutorial on how to do that. So that's what I've been working on right now. I just printed the heat transfer paper, and what she does is she puts these on ribbon. So I thought that that was super, super cool. So let me go just show you real quick here. Try not to get you dizzy going around my office. So first of all, this is the epic fail. These just came out, yucky. And I printed them on cotton, and I just don't like the way they turned out. And then here is the new ones on the transfer paper. So with the transfer paper, I flipped them on Pages, which was just one. It was so simple to do. And now I have this, oh, sorry, you don't need to see the X. What I have to do is so I don't mess up, I have to say red line side up in my printer. So that way when I put these sheets in, one side has red lines, one side doesn't. I'm really bad at remembering which side goes up. So I have a piece of paper that I stick in each one of my heat transfer envelopes with a cross on it that says red line side up. So now I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna practice, and I won't film all of that, but this is I bought this from Amazon, and this is the fat one of the ribbons that she uses, this webbed looking cause grain, I think it's called. But anyway, you can correct me if I'm wrong, of course. But anyway, and so then you just cut out these little guys. They're 1 inch by 3 inch, and this is 1 inch, 1 inch, this from here to here, and then I'll just cut them, and then we can just cut them. I'll heat transfer them bigger and then cut them to size. And then I'll use I found that I still need to use the fray check. So I'm going to use the fray check on the ends of the ribbon, but the ribbon is so much nicer as tags. I did, it just looks so much nicer. I did that on one of my Katerina design ones. I did put it on a piece, sewed it. What I did was I took because I didn't like the way this cotton was, and I had to cut it all the time because I made so many mistakes. You got to watch the video to see how bad it was, just so you can laugh. But anyway, so I cut this out and then I put it on here. Well, these ones are not a lot nicer because they say Valia Studio Handmade, and then it gives you the care instructions for the items. So it's just all right there. I'm really excited about this. I think this is going to turn out so much better. I'm going to try it now. Still have some energy left. Let's see, what time is it? It's got to be around midnight now. It's usually when I get my second wind of energy. So we'll see how far I get with these. I want to make a couple of these just to make sure that I'm doing it, that I like the way it's being done. And then I think I'll be able to go and I'm going to list a new scrunchie on my Etsy store. I think this one is, So I'm going to list this one here tonight. This one I made out of a vintage scarf. So I am going to be listing this one tonight on Etsy. So I have 2 of them. A lot of them I only have 1 of, but these ones are already ready. So I'm going to go ahead and get those posted up, and hopefully tomorrow I can get these ones up on my shop. These wristlets with the little coin purse and the chapstick holders. So hopefully I only have 3 of them. 2 of these are all leopard, and then this one here is black with the leopard. So I'm hoping to get these up tomorrow. So we'll see how it goes. I'll see how much energy I have tonight. I also have, my jean project going on there. And then I am getting ready. Today I got my, yesterday, I went and picked up my Cricut Easy Press 2 that was on sale for $79, and then I got the Cricut Maker 4, and I don't know if you say it Cricut or Cricut, I don't know, whatever it is, I guess I don't care. Anyway, so this was also on sale for like $349 or something like that. I did get a 1-year insurance, insurance in case anything happens to it, like, if it breaks down or whatever, a warranty on it, I guess. And then, well, we'll see how that is, because I have no idea. If you have any, we're going to do an unboxing. I'll do an unboxing video next week on this, or maybe I'll have that done before this vlog gets published. It's hard when you're doing vlogs because you have so many different cuts you have to put together. But if you have any suggestions as quick ways for me to learn this, because I don't have a clue. I have no idea. I want to make stickers and I want to make bookmarks, because when I went to go make some print on demand stickers, they're way too expensive, just even from the company. So from Printify, they were just too expensive. And the bookmark was super expensive from Printify because it's a metal bookmark with a metal cutout in it. And that's not the kind of bookmark I want to make and sell. So I know I have to make my own bookmarks, and I know I have to make my own stickers. So, or I'm going to have to start ordering the stickers from like a company like Sticker Mule. But first I want to see if they sell or not. So I want to make a few of my own just to make sure. And then if the ones that sell, I will then of course get them made more in bulk, because I'd rather be sewing than doing that. So anyway, let's see. Here's some of my other scrunchies that are already listed. I listed this one already, and I listed Mama and the two babies. So these ones were made from a scarf. This one was made from a blouse. And then hopefully maybe if I get this one up tonight, maybe hopefully I can get these cute ones up tomorrow. These were made from a pair of pants, and I was able to get 3 out of that one. This is a vintage fabric actually. So I'm going to get a lot more out of that. I'm going to get 1, say 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll be able to get 6, but it's a one-of-kind vintage yardage too. We're not going to be able to find that again. It's not for sale anywhere. So let's see how I go in making these stickers. I'm sorry, my labels for my products. They came out good. Because it's going to be turned like this and sewn in. But a couple of things. One is that the font is really small for the care instructions, which I don't think there's anything I can do unless I'm using more lines. But what I don't like is when I do fold it in half, it's hard to see maybe I can do it from further away. When I do fold it in half, there's a lot of white space still there. So I'm thinking that I need to make that center, like this piece here, come up more close to the center. But they're good enough to use for right now, and I will use them right now. But I will tell you, I like it a lot better on the ribbon, especially since I can use fray check, and a lot of these, the end pieces are going to be inside the seam. So I'm really liking the way that this looks. Some practice maybe. And then I also bought that Cricut. So if you guys want to help me with that, teach me how to do, or if you have something where I can learn how to make the labels on that. I don't know if it's even possible on there. But anyway, I am much more happier than with these ones here, these ones here that are on the thin white fabric. First of all, they're just way too big. So this, I'll leave a link to this ribbon in my description too. So anyway, so I'm going on, so that works. I'm just going to stop. I'm not going to make any more tonight. I'm going to turn off the iron, and I'm going to go and try to see if I can get that's the next scrunchies listed real quick before I go to bed. So I will talk to you probably tomorrow. This is the set with the leopard style vintage look. It has a black underfacing, the leopard on the top, polyester cotton blend. This is the wristlet part with a metal clasp there. And then you get a lobster clip here for your keys. And it has a ring so you can add more things if you want. This is inside and out with the same fabric for the coin purse. And then one side is black. Both sides are black on this one. And this is your chapstick holder there. And then also I have another one that is the same as that, and except for this has the leopard's front end of the chapstick holder and a black back for that. And it also has the black interfacing there. And the third and last one is a leopard, same thing, the leopard wristlet with the black inter, the leopard on top for the chapstick cover holder, and the black on the back. But this one has a plain black coin purse that's black inside and out. I only have 3 of these, so pick your choice. Make sure you pick the right one, because once I send them to you, I'm not going to be able to accept returns on them. And so just let me know if you have any questions.